What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Offroad Outlaws. In today's video, we're going to be doing a head-to-head battle against the two Toyota Tundras inside Offroad Outlaws. Let me know down below in the comments guys, which Toyota Tundra do you think is going to win this today? Do you think it's going to be the older Tundra, or do you think it's going to be this new one that was actually recently added inside the recent update in the game? Without further ado guys, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright guys, we made it to Rock Park now. We're going to go ahead and test this thing out. Now the first thing we're actually going to test these trucks on is going to have to be the frame twister. Now I want to see if, I believe this big Tundra might actually get stuck in the frame twister, honestly, just because it's so big. I feel like the older Toyota Tundra, like the 80s model, might actually make it through this a lot easier than this one will. But we're going to go ahead and give that a shot right here, guys. Let me know down below in the comments, do you think this newer Toyota Tundra is going to be able to make it right up and through here? Oh, it looks like it's getting hung up, and we were able to successfully make it up. Our tire is in the rocks, so that is actually not good for us. That is not the Tundra's fault, that is actually the game's fault. So I'm going to give a point for this Tundra right here for the newer one, since it was able to go up that. Let's go ahead and switch over to my older school Tundra. Okay, now we're inside of our old school Tundra. This is actually the 1980s model Toyota Tundra. Honestly, I think this one might actually be able to go through this a lot easier than the newer gen. Just because the fact that this Toyota Tundra is actually much smaller, it's not going to be able to hang up as easily as the newer Tundra, I'm used to the newer Tundra since it's inside of like automatic. So I was trying to reverse. Look at that. I mean, this little thing just went up through it a lot easier than the other one did. Honestly, if we're going to have to score these two against each other, I'd say this one did much better. So far, the 80s model is in the lead. Alright guys, the next test we're going to be doing here is actually going to be sort of like an ultimate crawling type of style. So we're going to see which vehicle can actually make it up, the furthest on this side of the rocks. Now, I'm actually going to make this just a little bit easier for this giant Tundra. I'm not too sure if I need to be in low gear for this one, because I'm not sure if my high gear is actually good enough or not. Okay, so far low gear actually was able to get it up and over that rock. Now the next test right here is, can we get this Toyota Tundra up and over this big section of rocks right here? So far all the Tundra wants to do is get hung up. Looks like this thing is not doing too well, and we fell. Oh guys, looks like we are slowly making it up. Can the Tundra make it up? And the Tundra made it up that first section right there. Actually, that is the second section. And I think this is where this Tundra stops. There is nowhere for this Tundra to go. It keeps getting hung up on the front bumpers, so there's not really much that this thing can do. We're just going to give this one more little test right here, and if it doesn't make it up, we're going to call it an end.
2 hours later.
So looks like the new Tundra was not able to do that. So we're going to go ahead and use this 80 model's Tundra right here. We're going to see if this little thing can actually make it up this a lot easier. I'm actually really hoping it does. Okay, so far it was able to grip and grab all the way up that. Now let's see if this right here is a lot easier than the newer Tundra. If it was able to beat it right here, then I'm going to say this one is still in the lead. I mean, look at that. This thing just like gripped up it with no problem. I'd have to say the 80s model Toyota Tundra is still in the lead. So the next test we have here is obviously going to be the mud. We're going to see which one of these trucks is going to be the fastest in the mud. Let me know down below in the comments right now, guys, which Toyota Tundra do you think is going to have the highest mile per hour in the mud? Okay, so far we're using this blue one inside high gear. Looks like it's barely going 7 miles per hour. We're going to drop it into low, see if that changes anything. Looks like it bumps it up to 9 miles per hour from 7, and we're between 7 and 9, riding at 8 miles per hour, going back and forth. Okay, so looks like this Tundra really is not that fast in the mud, when our max speed for low is probably 14 miles per hour. 13 miles per hour is our max speed. Okay, so yeah, it looks like 9 miles per hour is the max we can get out of this Toyota Tundra right now, fully upgraded and everything, not damaged, none of that. Now we're inside the 1980 Toyota Tundra. We're going to go ahead and hit the same spot right here because it doesn't really change anything for the mud. Let's see how fast this thing can go. inside the mud. So far, okay, we are doing only 6 miles per hour. That is not good. Now we're doing 8 because we shifted. We're doing 9. We're doing 10 miles per hour. It looks like it's so far going a little bit faster. Honestly, is this one still going to take the win today with it being a lot better than the newer Toyota Tundra? We'll see what this thing hits on our way back across and see if it can beat it. Alright guys, we're going back across right now. We're still inside low gear. We want to see if this thing can at least reach over 10 miles per hour. It looks like 10 and 9 is sort of its average. So this might actually be a lot faster and a lot more efficient to use than the newer Toyota Tundra. So far, I'm going to have to say guys, the 80s model Toyota Tundra so far has 3 wins against the newer Toyota Tundra. So there's no doubt that this one's going to win. Now the next challenge we have for both of these trucks right here is going to be a little drag race. Which one can hit the highest mile per hour wall to wall on Stunt Park? Without further ado, let's go ahead and visit Stunt Park. We made it out to Stunt Park, so let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to go ahead and go in first person. We're going to see how fast this thing goes wall to wall. Guys, let me know down below in the comments, how much miles per hour do you think this thing is going to make it? Let's go ahead and launch this right here. Okay, so far we're taking too long to shift to first gear. Looks like we're about to hit 80 miles per hour. Honestly, I think we might be able to hit maybe 130 to the wall. Let's hope we can hit 130 to the wall. Okay, we're definitely going way above 130. And we hit 151 wall to wall inside this Toyota Tundra. We're going to go ahead and run it back one more time this way, see what it hits. Okay, I'm honestly very surprised on how fast this Toyota Tundra is with how big of the wheels it has on it. This thing is actually moving pretty quick for a Toyota Tundra. And we were barely able to hit 152 to the wall, so we're able to get it up just 1 more mile per hour. Let's go ahead and switch over to this 80s model and see how fast this thing can go. Alright guys, we're inside the 80s model Toyota Tundra. Let's go ahead and launch this thing. Let's see how fast it can go. Since we are in manual, we are going to be able to actually shift properly. And looks like that dude ran into me. Kind of messed up my run a little bit. Hopefully this little Toyota is able to take the win again today and acquire a higher mile per hour wall to wall. Is this going to be possible? No, it is not. Looks like it tops out at 145. So the newer Toyota Tundra was actually able to take 1 win on the old school Tundra today. So far it is 3-1. Only thing I can say about this old school Toyota Tundra, the 1980s model, is I might be able to pick up speed a lot faster. So it might beat it inside of an actual drag race, but wall to wall, mile per hour, the newer Toyota Tundra beat it. Well guys, let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on today's video if we're not just getting ran over by tow trucks. Let me know what you think about today's video, about today's episode. What do you think about these 2 Toyota Tundras going head to head? Which one do you think should have won? No sir, I don't want to tow. Okay, get away from me please. Besides that guys, please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications.
Am I